Take an over-under in baseball, and you take a team that's not supposed to do a lot, so the number is nice and low, like Father Rob did, the thief out there in Rapid City, the guy who bailed out on the papacy. You know him, right? He was on a Catholic channel. He may not remember. But, I mean, yeah, that Father Rob. And he says, let's take the White Sox and the Orioles. So we take the White Sox and the Orioles. The White Sox have won 4 games. They are absolutely horrendous. And the Orioles have won 5 games. And that's beating the Yankees 3 out of 4. I mean, so I have both teams who I have to get to the early 70s, low 70s. It's not impossible. And I'm out of both teams already. I mean, those are 2 losses. The White Sox are not winning 75 games or 73 games, whatever it is, 72. And the Orioles don't win in 73. I mean, these are horrendous teams. Horrendous. And Rob, who never gets them right, you know, he wanted the Patriots in the Super Bowl. That's all you need, and the under. That's all you need to know. He loved the Blue Jays, and as it turns out, he might get one right because the Blue Jays are 11-5, and if they keep on playing Kansas City every 5 minutes, they're going to be halfway decent. I mean, there you go. So, but the White Sox and the Orioles, oh my God, do they stink? Jeez, I'm trying to watch this White Sox game here, and away we go. All right, and Father Rob, are you listening? Hello? Type me. Yeah, hello? Hello? Because we have a deal. And, Bill, this means you too. Get on StubHub. The little guy is going to go to New Orleans for Game 4. So get to work. We got a lot to do. Let's get some phone calls in the mix. Here is Jeff in Virginia Beach, and he's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Jeff, good afternoon. How are you today, pal? Okay?
Excellent, Chris. How are you doing today?
All right, Jeffrey. I'm hanging in. Thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, good. It's been a while since we talked. I got a little math quiz for you. See how good you are. 9 times 14 is?
9 times 14 is 126, is it not?
2 times 15 is?
How much now?
2 times 15?
Is 30. That's 56. That's 156.
Add them together. 156. That's your season. You play a completely competitive, balanced season that way. You play everybody in your league 9 times. Okay, you got to flip it back and forth year to year as far as who gets the stadium advantage. And then the same thing when he goes interleague. Let's just say the Red Sox go out on a 3-game set to Arizona, LA, and San Diego. The next year they come to Fenway. You got your competitive balance right there. And then you can throw in double headers with the interleague play, whatever. That's my thought on that. And the other thing I wanted to ask you, I remember you recommending some books to me a while back by Rennie Airwith. I was wondering if he's come out with his latest one or not.
Well, the Renee Arith does a great job. Good call by Jeff in Virginia Beach. The last book by Renee, we've had him on. He's writes about England in the 40s. Sherlock, you know, sort of a Scotland Yard kind of deal. He does a tremendous job. The book, and the Orioles have just tied up the Tigers at 5-5. How about that? The book is called, the last one is called Death of Kings, which came out last summer. That's the last one to get. So there you go. So good job there. All right, we're all set now. I'm going to send my child, and I'm a little worried about it, but I'm going to send my oldest to New Orleans. He's a huge Pelican fan, and they're up 2-0. Game 4 is Saturday afternoon, so I'll send Timmy out to New Orleans to go to the game. Boy, what a father he's got. I'll tell you that. Your father ever send you to your father ever send you on when you were growing up, folks? Your father ever send you across the country to see a playoff game of your favorite team? Go ahead. I know Tony never did it for me. Tony never said, you know, let's put it this way. I was not at the 71 playoffs, Giants-Pirates. When the Pirates beat the Giants in 4 games. I was not at those games. All right, let's continue with phone calls. Eddie Erickson, the idiot, tells me it's Walter in New Jersey, and he's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Walt, good afternoon. How are you today, pal? What's going on?
Great. Long time no talk. Tell Timmy to hit Razoo's. 3 drinks for the price of 1 on Bourbon Street.
I don't want to get the guy knocked off. Take it easy with your suggestions, please. Take it easy.
Before I get to my point, the question, what do the owners' obligation is for their spring training stadiums? Do they pay into that? get the game or anything?
No, that is a tremendous moneymaker for the owners. They probably make about $20 million in spring training. Most of them have had their stadiums built by the communities where the games are. Those stadiums are, wherever they may be, those in Arizona or Florida, those communities are so desperate for spring training that the owners get basically a free ballpark, and that's why they play 1 million spring training games, because, they don't have to play the players do not get paid for spring training. Remember that. Players don't start getting paid until April. So they don't, it's a freebie, and that's why they play spring training for 6 weeks. It's not because they're trying to get the pitcher stretched out. That's a bunch of nonsense. That's garbage. What it's about is the owners want to make every nickel known to man, and that's why spring training lasts 6-7 weeks, because the owners, that's foul money. They get about 15-20 million. Think about it. You got 20 games, you got 30 games, you got 15 home dates. Each ballpark's got about 8,000-9,000 people in it. They sell out all the games. The games are broadcast on TV. They're broadcast on radio, so they get advertising revenue. I mean, they make a fortune, and that is why those spring training games never end, and that's why spring training lasts forever. It's all about the money. Follow the money. Follow the money, Walter. You know that. Follow the money.
I understand. So why don't they take that free money, put another 15,000 seats in it, extend spring training for 2 weeks as a regular season, and then you come back in 2 weeks, 8 games at spring training, home and away. You get your 2 weeks started down there with perfect weather in Florida and Arizona, and then each team can have their special home opener back in the States, wherever, better weather, and you get more fans that way.
That's a unique. That's a unique idea, because you got to build about 30. You got to build big ballparks in all these spring training sites, and then they only have the ballpark for about a week or two of the season, and it doesn't pay for itself. So they're not going to do that. It's not a terrible idea. It's not a terrible idea from that standpoint, but the reason why they're not going to do that is because the ballparks cannot be built in these small little spring training. Sarasota does not want a 30,000 seat stadium. What are they going to do with it once the Orioles leave town? On April 15th, they play 4 games. What are they going to do with that stadium? What, Sarasota High is going to sit there and play a big tournament? What are they going to do? Fox Lane's not going down there to play. We got more to do on a busy program. We're back after this.